Welcome to today's Rosie, brought to you by WINC, the Women in Nontraditional Careers Project. Get ready to hear from Philadelphia area women and their supporters in unions, school, and industry about what it takes to succeed in non-traditional careers. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of today's Rosie. I am your host, Miya McAfee from Philadelphia Works. Today, my guest is Nicole Fuller, one of the founders of Women in Non-Traditional Careers, WINC, here in Philadelphia. Nicole, thanks for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you as our first guest.
I'm excited to be your first guest and get a chance to talk about WINC.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I want to just jump right into it and get started. What exactly is the WINC project and what's the mission? What can we expect?
Well, as you mentioned, WINC actually stands for the Women in Non-Traditional Careers. It's a Philadelphia regional collaboration, that we created to support and increase and advance the participation of women around three industries, specifically construction, manufacturing, and transit. It all began as a conversation back in 2018. Wow, it was 2 years ago. Seems like a long time.
Yeah.
It was a conversation that was among like women representing construction, manufacturing, and transit industries. And we were talking about the challenges of recruiting and retaining women in those industries. And then, what emerged was a multi-stakeholder collaboration and now it includes community colleges, apprenticeship and training programs, various employers, industry and union representatives, nonprofit, governmental agencies, and of course, tradeswomen. We also created this because we wanted to reach adult women and then also school-age young women who may be considering or already working in these careers, and we refer to them as tradeswomen or aspiring tradeswomen. We wanted to be able to educate and involve educators, employers, trainers, and others just to know how to attract and support the women, because that seemed to be like an issue as far as recruitment and then also retention. We were able to get funding through a partnership with Chicago Women in Trade, who had a grant from the U.S. Department of Labor's Women's Bureau to share their expertise, with a similar project across the country. And they've been wonderful as far as being a great partner and providing us with their expertise.
Wow, that's really, really interesting, having it start from 2018 to where it is now. And all those stakeholders are really, really, really invested, it sounds, in the future of the project. So then I want to ask a little bit more around, why was it important for you to create WINC? I know you said it started from a conversation, but just hearing a little bit more about that.
Well, for us, we felt like too few women even know about these careers and the good wages and the great benefits that they offer. While women represent 29% of all production workers in manufacturing industry, they also occupy some of the lowest paid positions in those sectors. These career pathways pay well, provide financial security, but women are not getting their fair share of these opportunities or even know those opportunities exist. The industries have made some progress in their outreach to women, but, these career pathways are often out of sight, out of reach, and women are not represented. So, these are just some of the challenges.
What do the numbers say about women in building and construction trades nationally?
Well, in building and construction trades, women represent 3.4% of the workers. They're just 2% of bus and truck mechanics, too few of subway, streetcar, and other transportation workers to provide an estimate of their numbers.
So I know for me, I'm really passionate about women and young women succeeding in a plethora of areas, and even specifically construction and other non-traditional careers. As a parent, as a young woman myself, who's constantly thinking about what does career mean for me now? What does career mean for me in the future? So can you tell us a little bit just about yourself and why you're so passionate about this cause and young women and current women getting connected?
Well, I am a tradeswoman. So, I started out very young working highway construction. I'm originally from Michigan, so I was part of the UAW, and I worked, and we did highway construction. I actually helped put up guardrail, and highways have a drainage system, so we actually put in a drainage system along major highways in the state, along with doing seed and side. So it started a long time ago. And I just thought I was able to raise a son as a single parent. And, I know the benefits are great. And, I was able to, take care of my family. So I would like all young women to have an opportunity to, have that type of career where they can be self-sufficient and, be able to live a great life and not have to struggle and worry about their career or money or those types of things. It's just a really great opportunity. I met some wonderful people doing that work, and it's just a passion. I want to tell everybody.
And hopefully so many people will be able to hear your passion, because I know when I speak with you, I definitely hear it. So then I want to talk a little bit about when you say the trades, right? What are you referring to? What exactly does that mean for those who may be listening and don't necessarily know?
Great question. And I'm glad you asked, because there is a difference between non-traditional careers and then that subset of those careers that are considered the trade. So non-traditional occupations, as defined by the U.S. Department of Labor, are those where fewer than 25% of workers are women. So for WINC, we're focused on the trades, which include careers in instruction, manufacturing, and transit, like I mentioned earlier. So, some examples of those could be carpenters, electricians, but also an insulator, welders, track maintainer, machinists, those types of jobs. Or careers, I should say.
Gotcha. So what would you say you're most proud of that the WINC has accomplished so far?
Another great question. So, to start out, we have a website that houses all kinds of resources and inspiration for both aspiring tradeswomen and advocates for who have found purpose in supporting this work. We had our first annual institute last year in 2019. And, as I just said, annual. So we're looking to have another one soon. But it's a place where we could share our best practices about outreach and support for tradeswomen, and also hear from tradeswomen and hear their stories. The last thing that I'm proud of is that we were intentional in creating a safe space for tradeswomen to share their stories, both good and bad, challenging successes, with one another. And we're proud that we accomplished that. We've created a speakers bureau that gives tradeswomen a platform to practice effectively sharing their stories with others. So I'm proud of those. Are the three that I can think of, but there's so many.
Wow. So you guys are doing really great work, it sounds. If someone's interested in connecting to the WINC project, whether they are aspiring tradeswoman, as you refer to them, or a current tradeswoman who is in the career at this time, how can they get involved? How can they connect with you and other tradeswomen and find out more?
If they're current tradeswomen, they can either join our meetups or volunteer for the Speakers Bureau. And all of this information can be found on the WINC webpage, or you can email the project manager, Sue Hoffman, who will be happy to reach out to you. And that information is also on the webpage. If you're an aspiring tradeswoman and you want to find out more information or inspiration by subscribing to the podcast, that would be one way. Also on the WINC webpage, we have videos and other ways to explore non-traditional careers and see exactly what we're talking about. Now, if you're an educator or an advocate or a union or industry representative, you can contact WINC to learn about best practices or request a speaker. And if you have additional questions, at the end of the podcast description, there are links for you to gain quick access to WINC by visiting wincproject.org or by emailing wincproject@philaworks.org.
Great. Thank you so much, Nicole. So again, I am Miya McAfee. My guest today has been Nicole Fuller. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us today, and join us next time for more from Today's Rosie.
You've been listening to an episode of Today's Rosie. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. To learn more about women in non-traditional careers, visit wincproject.org. That's WINC with a C, not a K.